Yo, yo, what is going on? Good afternoon. It is, I almost said October. Wow. Yeah, that's kind of funny. I looked up at the date and it's April 15th, but for whatever reason, um it it came in, I don't know, my brain was saying October. Now, I don't know what the hell is going on with Instagram over here. What happened, Instagram? Did you end up changing your settings again? No. Oh, why? Why did you switch it? What the heck? All right. Well, I don't know, but my face on Instagram is like right here. Just like poof. Not cool, man. Not cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure why it switched and why it's like that now. But okay. I guess we'll just leave it because there's nothing else I can do. So anyway, this live broadcast is sponsored by Rapid SOS, Safer Together, the leading AI company in public safety. And this is, thank you, Jason. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's widescreen and everything over here, but on Instagram, it's just like, just it's like right here. This is all you see is on Instagram. I don't know why. They had it switched where it was like profile style, and I don't know what's going on. But anyway, for those who are listening, watching live really, but those who end up listening to this, if you're listening to this in the playback through the podcast, this is going to be Within the Trenches episode 650. That's right, you are part of a live episode. I was going to record this earlier today, and then I thought, you know what? Why not go live? Let's just go live, and let's just do it this way. I'm good with that. Yeah, let's do it this way. So I might have a guest join me in a little while. I believe they're in the meeting currently, but I wanted to jump in today and record this episode, put this out there, and everything to give thanks. That's what this week's episode is going to be. I know you guys are getting hit with recognition, thanks, and everything all over the place. And damn it, you deserve it. So I wanted to come on as well to not just say that, but to share a few things. So, we've got National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week going on right now. Again, it's April 15th. It's on a Wednesday today. And there are announcements going on all over the place. And I want to share some of those announcements from one of my partners here shortly. But I also wanted to talk about, um, I talked about this on open mic, but I wanted to talk about it here live as well with everyone. Last week, I had the honor of teaching out in Kansas in Leawood PD. And I had a lot of fun with the attendees there. We had so much fun. We did a 4-hour version, which is the power of storytelling, of my 8-hour communications course, and it covers a little bit about myself to share my story with the attendees, but then we jump into the peer support section of that, which is Imagine Listening. And if you've been in Imagine Listening session, you know exactly what that is all about. So we went through that, and then we had a 2-hour block that is recruitment through the power of storytelling. And in that session, which I think I'm going to be sharing an hour version of that, um, I'm trying to remember which conference, at the Michigan conference, because if you're going to the Michigan Nina Abco conference, I'll be there as one of the keynote speakers. And I will also be teaching that session, an hour version of it. But the point of that session is to talk about the elements of storytelling and also how you can use your story to inspire others. And because, and I say this all the time, it is quite possible that you could be the one who ends up being asked to or is potentially voluntold to go and do the job fairs, or any of the events. Melissa, hello, how are you doing? Any of the events that might be going on that has to do with public safety. So, if that were to happen, what are you going to say in the sense of about what you do? Honestly, how do you talk about your agency? How do you talk about the profession? Because the way you talk about what it is that you do can inspire another person to come and work with you. Or not just that, the way you talk about what it is that you do could also it could also be someone's just inspiration of survival. It could happen. It could very well happen. So there's so much that can go into it. And I had fun with them because we were talking about some of the things that you could use to be able to, again, inspire someone to join the ranks. And the reason I say this too is because there have been many people that have sent in emails where they have said, because of the stories that you've shared from these 911 professionals, it made me want to be a part of something bigger than myself. Or not just that, I realized that I was not alone. And that even more so, man, that is powerful. That is what your stories can do. But also, especially as we're, talking about this week too, do you know how important you are? Every single one of you, for what you do, but in your voice and your stories. So for those who are watching and listening right now, and for those who are listening right now, who are listening just to the audio and the podcast, this is something that I want you to think about. Whether you are in public safety, even if you're not in public safety, if you're not in 911, just in general, I want you to think about something that has been rewarding or something that you're proud of. Again, if you're in 911, from 911 or whatever it is that you do, whatever line of work, just thinking about it, what is something that has been rewarding? What is something that you're proud of? Because I know a lot of times we go through and sometimes we forget. One, we forget what it was like in the beginning, right? Which sometimes leads to people eating their young. Um, but the more we talk about all this stuff, the more we realize how how much the same we are. So I want to play a video for you here really quick. It's a short one. It's from probably my best friend, my homie. And I want to play this for you because this goes along with the what are you most proud of? What has been rewarding for you in the profession of 911. So let me put this on screen here really quick. Melissa says, had a good debrief this week, funeral Saturday, glad to be on days off. My condolences. My condolences. And I'm glad that you all were able to do a debrief and that you've got a little time off to reflect as well. Remember to reach out if you need anything, or anyone who is watching and listening, just don't ever be afraid to reach out to those around you. So let me put this on screen here really quick. All right, here we go.
Hi, my name is Erica, and I've been a dispatcher for almost 13 years now. And something that I am proud of as a dispatcher is just knowing that every day, every phone call that I take, I have the opportunity to help someone when they need it the most. Even though I am not able to physically be on scene, I am there providing instructions and using techniques to be able to help calm people in their moments when they need it most. And that is what I love about being a dispatcher.
I love it. I have known Erica for, geez, over a decade now, maybe. We've known each other for a long time. And I love her message, how things have been rewarding for her, what she's proud of. And, she was also trainer of the year at one time. And a lot of folks that look towards her for a lot of guidance, especially through training and just after training. So thank you for what you do. Um, I want to share as well, because of this week, just kind of some stories. And for those who are watching and listening, National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week is a week where we recognize the known heroes, professionals who do this job and don't always get a lot of recognition. And but I think it's getting better. It gets better every year, and I can say that that recognition comes way more often now than before, but especially during this week. But I mean, just every single day, man, people are giving thanks, because a lot of times dispatch gets lost in the mix. But damn it, it's a new day, and we are making it. We're right up there. We've always been up there. We're just fully embracing it now, and we are in the forefront as the most vital piece of the now profession and the start of every call. And we're there from the beginning to the end. We would love to know more about what happens, right, with some of those, but it's definitely, it's a tough job, but it's a rewarding job, and it's definitely a career, not just a job. It is a career. Stacy over here in the comments says we deserve more than just a week. I agree. Yeah, I agree. There's a ton that you do, and people don't understand, which is why I've been doing everything in my power to be able to share your stories. And I thank you for your trust in me to share your stories to literally the entire world. It has been humbling to be a part of this journey along with you, and just to be able to play a small part in this profession to help share your stories it's been amazing. So I thank you for that as well. So for this week rather, one of the things that I love seeing the most is people just having fun, sharing pictures. And I was trying to find some that I could put up here really quick, but I did find a reel and it looks like this is from Round Rock Police Department. And I'm gonna put it on screen. However, I will say this: I'm not gonna put the audio on. The reason is because the audio that is on this is not like the audio that I just played with the video that I created with Erica. That music I have a license for. The music that is part of this reel, I do not have a license for. And if I play the sound, um, this whole thing will get muted, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to play the video, but before I play the video, I see that I just got a message here on my private chat because my homie is here. So let me put her up on screen with me. Bam, Keely, what is going on, dude?
I'm so sorry I'm late, everybody. There's just so many moving parts today.
It is all good. I knew you had a meeting coming up, and I had told people already in the beginning I might have a guest on with me. So you heard what I said in the green room talking about this. So I'm going to put this on screen really quick, but I wish I would have listened to it again so that I could do the music myself, kind of nerdy style. But here we go. It's and actually, oh, I could do this. I can turn the audio off so that nothing comes over, but you can at least see the video. So here it is. Like I was saying, some of the my most favorite stuff is seeing what the dispatch centers are doing throughout the week. And this was one of them that I found that I'm going to play on here. I've got a couple friends in this video too. But here we go. Nice. Happy National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. So I will say really quick, even though you couldn't hear the music, I believe as soon as you hit play, it goes something like boom, 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 boom,
Thing.
yes, that's it. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Oh, I'm so glad you knew what that was.
Of course I did.
You got some tone low, but yeah, that's exactly how the video starts. And I was like, damn it, I can't play the music because it'll stop it. The very first time I played a video that had music, they had a copyright on it. I got a notification right away from Facebook saying, we just muted your live because this music is playing. I was like, oh, come on. So live, I had to dispute it and then they let it go. And then I was able to do it. But I thought, man, Joe Serio, what's up, bro? Says some awesome folks at Round Rock PD. Hell yes. Those are some excellent people. Melissa says, that's so funny. Oh, it was, yeah. So stuff like that. So I'll ask you, Keely, what are some of the things that you like seeing out of TC week on social media from the dispatch centers from all around the country?
I mean, we've gotten more creative over the years, right? Like, I remember when we started off, and like this was not a thing. Like we didn't do this. I know you've said this before on
Yep.
some of your podcasts recently. Like this week was never a thing when I started in the Stone Age. So like the fact that now we're seeing just the creativity. I mean, we have theme weeks and like social media reels that are going out. And I mean, I was in Parma, Ohio during TC week last time. I think it was Parma, and they had the whole circus theme in there. And it's like, it's funny because it is a three-ring circus most of the time, and there's always a master of ceremonies that is running that three-ring circus. So like, you know, doing that is, it's just, and like the ideas that as a director, I was a director as a director, it was one of the most exhausting weeks for me because there was so much planning that went into it to make sure that it made sense to the team, that it wasn't just a pizza party for somebody, and that if all I could afford was a pizza party, that I made it feel special. That
Right. Yeah.
I did something that made it feel a little more than a pizza party, right? So like it was so exhausting to see that, but like now what you're seeing is that that momentum is taking over. We're like, they're like, oh, last year they're like somebody did a Friends theme, I think, a couple of years ago, and that's amazing. Our girl Halcyon would have been like, just sign me up. I'm going to that ACC for the week.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Like it's just like things like that are just so the creativity, the jokes, and even the dark humor that's included. Like I had some people that picked certain Avengers to be, and
Oh.
but they were like off key Avengers. So like
Timu Avengers.
Avengers, like so, like it was really funny because it was ironic and it was just so good. But like just that creativity is what kind of gets me going for the week. That it's it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be. It's just fun. It's just meant to be fun together for the week, and that even if your agencies or the field responders aren't recognizing you, you can recognize each other, and that's okay too, right? Like you don't have to make it a big blowout. Everybody can just do a potluck and spend time together and make it something just fun for you, or something that resonates with your, make a joke out of like one of your inside jokes, make that your theme week.
Oh, right. Yeah. I don't know if it was last year. It was probably a couple of years ago. You weren't on yet, but I played a video with my girl Erica out of Michigan, and she was doing her most rewarding, most proud of, and I'm pretty sure this was for TC Week. Her team, they dressed up in like gowns and they took pictures and everything. I was like, damn. I was like, you all look amazing. She goes, we had so much fun. And it was so cool to see that, because I think it was like a prom theme. I'm trying to remember now, because again, this was a few years ago, but I remember she sent me the pictures of her and her crew, and they were just killing it, man. Like they were, it was just like the posing and like just all of it. It was amazing. They were gorgeous. It was the coolest thing, man. I loved it. So yeah, you're right. It's a lot of the creativity, but also one of the things that I've been kind of harping on this week since the beginning on Sunday is also the food, because I remember being in dispatch, seeing the boxes of pizza or barbecue, or the like Subway platters type with all the sandwiches, like all of this food there, and someone coming in for a shift, and I hear them go, oh, damn. I'm like, what's wrong? It's like, I forgot that it was this week for us and everything, and look at all that food over there. I did all my food prep, and I'm also trying to watch what I eat, and those donuts and everything over there look so good as I'm there going like, yeah,
tastes great. it's delicious.
I used to feel so bad, but almost all the time towards the end they would be like, you know what, I'm just going to give in. I'll start the next day, or I'll start next week, or whatever. Yep. But there were some folks that they held their own, and instead they went for like the fruit, because there would be fruit baskets as well.
I always admire the people in dispatch that can really stick to that, because I feel like getting random scraps of food, it's like, what was his name? Mortimer? Is that the mouse in Charlotte's Web?
Oh, Templeton.
And it's like there's
Mortgage after the lights have.
I mean, because that's what it like. There are just days, and I was always impressed. Yeah, snacks and more snacks. So many snacks. I think that we should put up a picture of Templeton, because this is what this week looks like at the end. Is like it's a smorgasbord. There is so much, and then like you always have that one dispatcher who's like, they hit the gym on their days off and they stick to the plan. I used to work with one. I love her to death. She's still out there working, so she's watching. Hi. But she literally was the only person I knew who could come in with a full size lunchbox because she was a bodybuilder, right? Full size with all the things she needed, high protein, all the things. And like, despite the fact that we're like throwing all this food at her, she'd be like, nah, I got my stuff. And I'm like, I would cave like every time. I'm like, but the donuts, look at the pastries, look at the pizza. Like, I can't do that. Not this week. I'm always so impressed with those who, and like, listen, we understand, like, we sit all the time. We should probably do better at taking care of ourselves, but it's just for the week.
Yeah. Yeah. But some of that stuff stays.
I know. Well, that's when you go and like a week later, me and my deputy used to go in and we would actually put out the Purge, the show The Purge.
Oh, okay.
Movie.
Yeah.
And we would send out an email and it's like, the Purge is coming. And everybody knew that they had to get their stuff. Templeton! They had to get their stuff out of the fridge because we were going to throw everything out if it didn't have a name or a label on it. So you had to get it out of there. And you could put it back when we were done.
For those who are just listening to the audio, I just put the picture on the screen of Templeton just swimming in food like Scrooge McDuck swimming through his gold coins. But this is all types of food, and this is exactly, you're right, dude, this is exactly what it's like in dispatch during dispatch week. Look how happy he is.
He's so happy, and he sings too, so it can't be bad. There's music.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that has to be one of my favorites there. But I remember when I was a supervisor for our teams, like, we each made like a bunch of stuff for our people, and we just, we had them in bags and stuff. And I thought that was really cool as well. It was our way as the supervisors, the heads of the teams, to give our recognition as well, and to just be like, thanks for everything that you do on our team. Sometimes things are tough, but when the shit hits the fan, we are all working like a well-oiled machine. And I know that you feel the same way, because I know we've talked about this, and I'm sure everyone who's watching and listening feels the same way too. The stuff that we've gone through, no one will ever know what that was like. They might have had something similar, but not the exact situation. And you might be able to understand, but you'll never know what it was like to be part of some of those calls. In some of those moments is where your bond truly comes together with some of these folks that you work with.
It's so true. I mean, I think there's something to be said about that connectivity. Like, it's almost like that, forged in trauma relationships that you have. And while you might not think that they're healthy, they're helpful, right? Like, you don't have the way that we touch the world in crisis is not the same that a police officer does. It's not the same that a firefighter does. It's not the same that an EMT or paramedic does, right? Like, our situation is like in that stage of discovery. So where that emotion is high, where all of that is high. So it's not the same as what our counterparts must experience. And while it's similar and so still helpful, it's just, this is where that brother sisterhood kind of comes in. Yes, right. It's the quickest bond.
That's a good way to put it.
It really is. And it's again, it's like forged in this weird space. And like, it's funny because I look back at, like, even to this day, I still get text messages from my former center, right? Like, they'll send me things, especially when they get my email from Rapid SOS. They'll be like, hey, we miss you, but also, did you hear about this? And like, for example, I think I told you this story. Just recently, we had one of our frequent flyers pass. And I must have gotten 6 text messages that day from the center that was like, you're never going to believe he's gone. And it was like, but it's like that connection. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to have the same chuckle with them over somebody's passing as everybody else would be like, that's really mean. It was
Oh,
like,
right.
it
Yeah, but it's
wasn't,
like,
it's not meant to be mean. It was like, it's just who we are at our core, for sure.
yeah. And it's also, for those who are watching, listening, that don't understand, it's also a way to cope with something as well, because no matter how many times a person calls, no matter how many outrageous things they say to you, or that might come off as just off in general, there is a certain part of us, not just us, but I think anybody um in this profession, really, that it's the humanity in us, that even though there's a chuckle, there's something behind it. And it's more so that it feels like a loss too. There's a part where it's a loss, and you think, well, ah I mean, that's how we find out that people have either moved away or passed away, especially if the person is elderly and how close or how high they are in age, rather. That's how you know that someone is gone. And there's that little bit where it's like, oh damn, like, I'm actually going to kind of miss having these exchanges, with some of these folks. And it's a weird thing, but I think it's a good thing as well. We're able to let that go, but also think about some of the stuff that there was before. It's an interesting profession, all of it.
Interesting is probably an understatement, Ricardo.
Well, that's why I said it that way.
It's an understatement for a term. It is like nothing else. Years ago, there was a great, I can't remember the article, but I mean, we're going back a long time.
Like
And
tablets or
probably like
oh, okay.
plate stones.
Yeah.
And there was an article that went out about dispatchers that are administrative assistants and nothing more. And it was before the whole movement was happening, before all of those things. And right after that happened, we used to serve the public too at the window. I know many of you are out in space who do that, where you take the walk-ins that come into your police departments. And it was court day. And I have a picture of this, and I should find it and send it to you. But it was court day, and they were standing on the other side of that glass. And they didn't really realize that like somebody was standing there, like I could see her, but she was using it to fix her hair. So she's brushing her hair in it. And then she takes her brush, cleans out the hair, and sticks it into the slot under the window where like people would pass their ID to us and stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember taking a picture of it, and I was like, oh, I guess your administrative assistants do that too, huh? And it's like, not the same job. We are not the same.
No, not at all.
I have a picture of it. It was on my Facebook.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send it to me. Catherine, hey, happy National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week to you as well. And I remember some of that as well, because when I first started out dispatching at the single seat PD in Frostproof, it was like that. People would walk in and they would make their complaints, and it was just a single pane of glass that anybody could reach over if they wanted to do something to me or any of my coworkers, but also to slip something in. And no one ever left me a brush like that, no. But I did have a time where I went to go use the restroom, and I call over the radio to the officer and tell him I'll be 10-7 down the hall. And he's like, 10-4 on your code brown. I was like, dude, why you got to be a dick? Like, what's that all about? Like, the chief is listening. And then, I go to the bathroom and I come back and there's someone standing there at the window, and I'm just in shock. And how long have you been there? How long have you been waiting? And he's like, long enough. I was like, oh my God.
And
like,
and how many times we used to have to call an officer in, and sometimes they would think it's funny and stop a car.
Oh, dude.
They would do that
is
all
a
the time.
dick move. That's a dick move right
They
there.
would do it all the time. You'd be like, hey, 101, can you 19? right? So I can single O. They had single O and double O. That's how they did it. And these guys would literally stop because they'd be like, yeah, 10-4. And then 5 minutes later, MV stop. And you're like, oh, you. Meanwhile, you've already been doing the dance for like an hour trying not to bother anybody.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so messed up.
But it's like, this is the reality, right? Like, there's so many places that still operate in smaller centers where this is still a motion where you might be alone in the
Oh,
center,
right, for sure.
you know? And these are some of the challenges that you have being alone.
And you take the portable with you, and hopefully,
And hope you don't key up. Like,
yeah, hopefully you don't key up. Hopefully you don't hit the button and transmit over like burnt, or anything else. You're like, I was just washing my hands. I swear. Sure. Water doesn't trickle that way. Oh man. So I want to share a story really quick. It was from last week. I've shared it a couple times. You know which story I'm going to share, but the names that I see here, I don't believe are the same ones that were here during open mic. I think Joe and maybe Catherine were, but I'm not sure about everybody else. But also, this is part of the podcast because this is a live episode that we're doing, and episode's going to be going out on all podcast platforms after this. So before I show a couple of videos that I have, I wanted to mention this because it's still it still gets me that this is something that actually happened. And people will ask, like, did you guys really get like just outrageous calls? Or, I mean, is it all emergencies? And we're like, no, the majority of the calls that come in at 911 are not emergencies, believe it or not. It's people calling in for fireworks times or parade times, or can you tell me when trick-or-treating is? Like, give me a moment because I'm working in an emergency. You can probably look it up online, but if you are willing to hold, I'll put you on hold. And a lot of times people would say, yeah, I'll go ahead and hold. Like, okay.
all right.
Or I would tell them, call in the non-emergency line. You're going to get me anyway, but I'm going to put you on hold almost immediately after I confirm that it's you. And they're like, all right, cool. But so there are some things that are unbelievable that happen. Wait, Melissa says, what's the number to the dentist? Is that something real? Like, did that happen to you?
I have gotten, how do I get
What?
to certain locations? What time? I've gotten that one too. We have a parade in town. What time does a parade start? And then my partner was like, this is a 911 center, not Parade Central. Like, it's insane to me. I had a guy ask me what the traffic was on the Parkway, which isn't even in our jurisdiction. Like, why would I know that? It's not even mine. And then he argued with me on where the Parkway was.
This was this week.
Oh my God.
It was just this week that they called for the number to the dentist. And for you, what you were saying too, it's like, dude, come on. Or when there was like blizzard like weather going on when I was dispatching in Southwest Michigan, and they would say, yeah, I just want to check to see what the weather's like. And I remember one of the times it was like, it's a whiteout out there. Oh, so should I be driving? I'm like, sir or ma'am, I don't remember, like whoever it was like, that is your choice. I'm taking multiple calls for vehicles and ditches, so you can take it for what it is.
Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah. Plan for ditch time is what we would say.
Give yourself an extra hour for that one.
Just a little extra. Melissa says, where's the tornado shelter in my town? See, these are other things. But, also at the same time, you don't know what you don't know. And if anything, just please call the non-emergency line, not the emergency line. But then again, if it's for a tornado shelter in the town, that's their emergency. So, I mean, it's a fine line for that one, I would say. If I've got the moment, I'll tell them, for something like that especially. But so you've got people calling in saying different things, but this call specifically was pretty interesting. And this one was during an open mic that I recently did, and this will be part of the Imagine Listening podcast. The Imagine Listening episode will go out first next week, and then the following week will be the open mic one, and that is where oh my god, you just sent it. And that is where you'll hear the rest of the story. But really quick, just so that I so that I don't forget. I'm oh, this is not what I thought you were sending at first, but I'm going to put it on screen um before I tell the story. Oh, hold on. I have to actually take it out of there first. Okay, one second, people.
Stand by, all.
Yeah, stand by as we're doing this. And for those who are listening to the audio only, I am currently putting up a picture that was just sent over that looks kind of gross. Um, and I will have Keely explain it here. Okay, I have it, and now I can put it on
I'm
screen here.
apologizing in advance, everybody.
There it is right there.
Uh,
You explained this for those who are listening to audio only.
so the picture I have sent is literally, it's the bulletproof glass window with the metal bin underneath it where you can pass, ID, paperwork, whatever you need to. And I am standing on the dispatch side of that window, and in the hallway outside, which you can't see, it's not a great picture of it. There's that's
Catherine's like, nope, I see.
Nope. I know. Nope. So like that hallway is where the main public always comes in, and to the left is actually the judge's entrance to the courtroom. To the right is the court, right? So like the judge has to walk through that hallway to go into the courtroom, and people would notoriously, especially if they had warrants or something they needed to settle, they would be at our window and we would be handling that during the day. And she had brushed her hair. Now this is actually before they put the tint on the window, so you can see through it. It's just that we live in the dark, as you can see in the picture, that we are very dark in that room. And I'm so sorry, Catherine. I'm so sorry.
Grosses me out, she says.
But she literally stood there. Now, mind you, I am standing there, so like I can see her, but again, it's very dark in there, so you can't really see me. I'm just standing there. And she pulls the hair out of her brush and then sticks it in the bin and then sticks it underneath there and just left it. And that was my caption is, so for those of you who think 911 people have no right to be rude or don't deserve raises, or even that we don't have to deal with anyone, this fine citizen our window and then cleaned her hairbrush and shoved it under our window into the dispatch center. Does that happen at your desk job? So this is back when I used to do public lessons. I used to do like public lesson 101. I was a little bitter at the time. I was a little burnt out. There was self-awareness, but yeah, so that is it actually happened.
Oh man. Yeah, that is gross and gnarly.
That was circa 2012, just so you know.
2012, August 22nd, 2012. Holy moly. July 22nd, 2013 was my last day in dispatch. So, oh, wow. Okay, well, there you go. So that's just one of the things where you think, does this really happen? Yes, it does really happen. This is real life, okay? This is real life. So a, a call comes in, okay? And for those who are watching and listening right now, I want you to really pay attention to this, because I want to know what you think. And if you know the answer, don't put it in the comments yet, because there are some folks who have not heard the story yet. So call comes in. It's a guy saying that he needs help finding his wife because his wife is missing. Dispatch ends up taking all the information, says, we'll get somebody out there to talk to you and all. And the guy is like, I mean, you don't understand. My wife is in the house. Okay. She's in the house, but I can't find her, which is why I need an officer to come out to help me find her. So dispatch is thinking like, this doesn't sound right. Like, why, how can you, sir, how can you not find your wife if you know she's there? How can you not find her. So for those who are watching and listening, again, if you know the answer, don't say anything yet. But for those who don't know, put in the comments what you think is going on or the reason. He knows that she's in there. And I will say, the last time I shared this, a lot of people were describing what could be like a Dateline episode, the possibilities. And so, Keely, I know you know the answer, but beforehand, what were some of the things that you were thinking?
Oh God, I was like, this woman's dead. That's like the first thing I was like, she's dead, and she has been dead for a hot minute. Like that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. And you're not the only one. A lot of people were saying the same thing. Others were saying, maybe she's a ghost. Maybe she's a ghost. And let's see. Melissa says, did he have dementia? Okay, that's a good answer. That's a good answer because a lot of times when we're taking these calls, we don't fully know. Let me see something here as I'm looking through this. What are some of the other answers that you might have?
I mean, I definitely like the ghost one, right? Because like, does he have dementia? Could this be like now are you dealing with a psych? Like,
right. Yeah. Is it something like that that's going on? Because now there are other things that are part of that in the sense that officer safety, right? Officer safety. You're sending somebody out there and you're going to have to go through it or send other people over there. Now, I know that you have, Keely, I know that you have another thing that you have to do here soon. So if you need to drop off, go ahead. I will continue on. But Melissa, so you're good. You're good. You mentioned the dementia, and that is a very good answer. So I'll just go ahead and jump in and say it. Oh, wait, Melissa's a bad game of hide and seek. You're not far off. Okay. You're not far off because here's the thing. Dispatch asks like, how can you not find the person? And the caller says, well, it's because I'm blind. And, and the person who's telling the story is like, oh, and everybody in the room was like, oh, no way. Like, oh crap. Like, and a lot of times people don't just say that, right? They don't say it right off the bat. But so, it went through the conversation a bit. And then the guy's like, it's because I'm blind. That's why I need an officer to come out here. Melissa's response. She's like, or he says, that's why I need you to come out here because I'm blind and I can't find her. So get this, officers get out there. Okay. They search the home. They find the wife. And they found her hiding. I don't know where she was hiding. This wasn't a game they were playing. Okay. The husband was not hurt. There was nothing physically wrong with him. He wasn't in danger. He just couldn't find his wife. And what it turned out was that the wife had told the officers, well, I had just had enough of his shit. Oh no, dude. So a lot of people were saying, I want to know what he did. I wonder what he did. That she just decided.
She's like, I'm done with you.
I know. Like, I'm done for the day. I wonder what happened for her to just be silent and go hide somewhere. So here's the other thing. Like,
it's beautiful a little bit though. I aspire to be her. Just saying.
I wonder though, is cold as this shit sounds, I wonder wherever it was that she was hiding, because I don't know where she was hiding. I don't think the person telling the story said where the person was hiding after all, but wherever they were hiding and the husband was calling out looking for him, I wonder if the wife was like snickering to herself, like, he's never going to find me. But she probably never thought that he was going to call 911 either.
Never.
Dude.
Absolutely never. She was like, I'm safe here because he won't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Now, while I was out there, I got a chance to stop at Johnson County Emergency Communications. And these are the last couple of videos that I'm going to play here. And this one, my homie Carrie got a hold of me, was like, "You're only about 8 minutes away. Come and visit us." And I was like, "Sweet. Yeah, I'll come and visit you guys." Excuse me. I also wanted to learn about some of the technology that they use there and how they use it and how excited they are for it. So I want to play this for you guys here really quick. Let me just throw this on screen. Make sure the audio is going through. All right, here we go.
My name is Carrie Baird. I am the lead operational point of contact at Johnson County Emergency Communications Center. I've been here for working on year number 14. It's more like 27 with overtime though.
Love that so much.
This is another call where you can see that this little green ping is where she is, and she's moving actually around the house. So you can see that's her, just steps through the house. So Rapid SOS really gives us a real-time picture of what they're doing as they're walking around getting things ready for 911 to arrive. Rapid SOS has more information that is more real-time and helps us to be more informed and able to give our crews even more information. I love it. I think what excites us the most is that, well, not us, me. What excites me the most, both as a trainer and a leader in the department, is that it just gives us the opportunity to always stay one step ahead, whether that is preparing our crews for what they're walking into or being able to provide top-notch service to the citizens when they're in need of help in an emergency. It just helps us to be even more prepared and ready to be there to help them. And that's, to me, what sets us apart. The more technological advances we have, the better availability and option we have to serve our citizens and to help when people are in true emergencies. I think that in our industry, change can be uncomfortable, but uncomfortable can be good. And we have to learn to grow with it and really embrace it because it is the future.
Yeah. Well done, Carrie Bear. Or as Keely said, Care Bear.
Care Bear. I love
Yeah.
her. I want her name, or I just want her to walk around with a Care Bear shirt on.
Carrie is awesome. And thank you, Carrie, for inviting me in. That was one of the coolest things. And to be able to sit there and just chill with your crew and be welcome in that way, that was amazing. I loved it. And Connor, what up, Brosif? What is going on? Any good games lately? I just beat Resident Evil 9. So there's one last video I want to play before we wrap up here. There's 2 thank yous. And I know you guys have been getting thank yous up the ass all over the place. But this one is a big one. And Keely has got to run. She's going to be heading out. And hopefully I can jump in over there with you as we're going. So I'll send you a message here soon. But thank you so very much for jumping in.
Bye, everybody.
We'll
Have a happy Telecommunicators Week. I hope you guys all have fun.
Yeah. Thank you again.
Of course.
So Joe down there saying had Carrie in class in Kansas. She's awesome. Hell yes, she is. She is one of the coolest. So again, Carrie, thank you so very much. The last video that I want to play here, it has been played all over social media already, and this is a big thing. So for all of you here, you may or may not know this. I have a partnership with Rapid SOS through the podcast, and also assist them with storytelling, marketing, and some other stuff. And I get to take part in some of the special projects that go along. I've done voiceovers and just a lot of cool things, while they also help push what I do in the longevity of Within the Trenches podcast, which I really appreciate. So I've been hanging on to this one for a little while now. I've been privy to to what I'm about to show you. And again, you've probably seen it all over social media already, but this is really cool. And this is a thank you from not only Rapid SOS, but someone that you have probably seen as well. So let me go ahead and play this, and then we'll talk about this.
I couldn't never do that job. Thank God for them. I just got to spend some time with the 911 dispatchers. At first, the word that comes to my mind, I think it's humbling. It's amazing to learn other perspectives, especially in emergency situations, people that handle high stress jobs, like all first responders, but someone that was a beneficiary of 911 dispatch.
You know, I think we kind of take that for granted that they're just there. You know, I really do. I know I have in the past. That's what I really learned. There's really, really great sacrifice. I don't have to scream very loud, but it'll scream in perpetuity. It's help our helpers.
So that was just a short video on a big thank you to the 911 professionals from all over. And if you don't know Jeremy Renner's story, a few years ago, he was in a horrific accident where a snowcat, not just a snowcat, his snowcat, ran him over. The dude had like 30 broken bones. I mean, he was very close to passing away. And when he tells his story, like if you have not read his book or heard it on Audible, use a credit to go get that book, because he is the one doing the voiceover. And he says right off the bat, he goes, you know, I didn't want to do this. I did not. It's like author's note. And then he goes, I did not want to do this. I did not want to write this book, but you know, basically if it could help someone, he wanted to do it. And he talks about what happened. The 911 audio is in there as well. And he talks about how he just needed his next breath, like my next breath. Like that's all he needed. Then he's explaining this. And there are a few portions of it where when he's talking about it, I got emotional myself, just picturing him in that moment. And then now to do this thank you to 911 professionals alongside Rapid SOS, and also joining their mission on helping the helpers, as he put it, with life-saving technology. There's way more that's going to be coming out with it as well. So, you know, if you are not already, make sure to follow Rapid SOS on their social media, especially on Instagram. They're sharing this all over the place. But how awesome for him to go to the center where all this happened too, and to meet all these folks. I mean, he says some of his best friends are in the fire department too. And, you know, to meet everyone and spend that time to learn more about what 911 does. So that was really cool. And I mean, how awesome would it be to have him on the podcast to talk about that as well? I'm not saying that's happening. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, how cool would it be? It would be pretty cool. But also, I really want the dispatcher to be on who took that call, because you hear the person talking and just holding their own, and they are just crushing it. So for the dispatcher who took the call, I would love to have you on the podcast to share your story. Yes, Jeremy would be awesome, but it is you, 911 professional, that put everything in motion. And I would love to have you on to share your story. That would be badass. That would be truly an honor. So I'm going to do my best to make that shit happen. So with that said, with all of these great things that are happening this week, again, we recognize all of you for what it is that you do. And as I said earlier, though, not just this week. but every single day, what you do in this profession, in this career. Thank you. Hold your head up high. Not a lot of people can do this. I am proud of every single one of you. And again, I'm humbled and honored to be able to play a small part in your journey, in your story, in public safety with you in 911. Thank you. Because everything I do wouldn't be what it is without all of the work that you do in sharing your stories and your trust in me to share those stories. So thank you. The last thing I want to share here before we wrap up this episode. Yeah, it does give Reno 911 a different image. That's for sure. The last thing I want to share here, I'm going to throw it on screen. Boom! The Mayan Ranch. You know. And if you don't know, here it is. For the past few years, I have had the honor to instruct at the 911 leadership training event, hosted by my good friend and brother, Joe Serio of the 360 Dispatcher, held at the Mayan Ranch in Bandera, Texas. Dude, this is a unique experience, a week-long unique experience that it's hard to describe. Many people have said life-changing. So many things have happened to folks that have gone to, right there, Connor says it, best life-changing experience of my life. There you have it. The proof is there. Boom. Coming from an attendee, this usually sells out, excuse me, a year in advance. However, I have one spot open for you. I've done a giveaway before. The last one I did was for Dare to Be Great 6. This one is for National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week 2026. And it is an honor to be able to offer it. But there are rules, okay? Like everything, there are rules. The registration for this, and a shit ton of people have already registered for this. And I'm putting this episode out today, so anyone listening will be able to go and do what they need to do. So in the comments, what I am putting in there is what you need, because in the past, I have put this out on social media. Well, I'm trying to really build the trenches community on the Circle platform. And the reason for that is because not everyone has Instagram, not everyone has Facebook. So in order to not have to go all over the place, I want to do it in one spot, just one spot. So on the Circle platform, you simply go to links, and that is links with 2 I's, .co/Iam911. Once you go there, scroll down just a little bit, and there is a button and some text that says the Trenches Community. This is a free community, okay? It is a free community. And actually, well, I have this up, so I don't know that it'll put it up here. So either way, once you go to that community, there are rules to start out that basically says don't be a dick to people or I will kick you out. Introduce yourself. There's a space that says say hello. Introduce yourself to the community. And then in the general discussion space, I have a post in there that says National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, but just in the first letters, giveaway information. All you have to do is be a member of the community, fill out the registration. The link is within that post. And within that exact same post, not on social media, within that exact same post, you just comment and say done or registered, whichever, just so that I know. And if it's shared out anywhere else, and you're not a member of the community, I'm cross-referencing. So if I don't see your name in there, your entry is toast. That's it. That's all you have to do. And if you happen to be the winner, you get a free registration. Now, you have to find your way there. You have to find your way there to the actual place. But the spot, that one spot that I have for you and that registration is free. You just got to get there. And this is going to be for this coming September. So you got plenty of time to get everything figured out. But I promise you, it is going to be worth it. And I just want to thank Joe for having me there as the closer with my Imagine Listening session, to be able to be there with the attendees, to record episodes with them for the podcast, to record the things that we have been working on with the mental health stuff, but also we did a live last time. We did an open mic live from the saloon area, the Roundup Room is what it was called, right? The Roundup Room. And that was hilarious. We definitely need to do that again. That was very well received. People loved it. But either way, it is definitely a life-changing experience. And Melissa, you did do it right. Yes. But yeah, that giveaway is going on. And Friday afternoon, I will be going live in the community to talk about what has been going on this past week, but also to do the giveaway live. So you've got just a couple more days, because around noon is when I'm going to cut it off. But you have all that time. This is one thing you do not want to miss out on. There you have it. Thank you all very, very much for joining me for this live podcast episode. Usually it's an open mic live, but this is Within the Trenches episode 650. And as soon as I have this is off air, I'm going to upload that audio, and it's going to be available for everyone to listen to. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you for what you do in this profession, this career that you have in 911. Thank you for what you do. This live episode, this broadcast has been sponsored by Rapid SOS, Safer Together, the leading AI company in public safety. And shout out to subscribers as always. Thank you for everything. As I've said before, and I will always say, it's because of you that I am where I am at, and your stories, and your trust in me to share your stories. So thank you. I am and will always be a huge advocate for all of you and what you do. And I'm very proud to be able to do it. Honored and humbled. If you have any comments, questions, you ever want to be a guest on the show to share your story, whether you are new to dispatch, seasoned, or retired, I would love to share your story. I've been doing it for over a decade, and this is my passion. And you can simply go to links.co, and that's links with two eyes.co/IM911, and you'll find everything there: email, social media, where to follow, where to hear the latest episodes of Within the Trenches podcast, as well as the Imagine Listening podcast, the link for the Trenches community, where there's over 200 hours of free continuing education, as well as 45 rounds of the Dispatchers Roundtable and several hours worth of the Public Safety Showcase, all for free for you to go there, network, and connect. And the link is there. Also, you can find volume 1 and 2 of Imagine Listening, and then any podcast dispatch merch. All of it is listed there. Once again, links with two eyes.co/IM911. And then this can be seen on Facebook, LinkedIn Live, YouTube, as well as X. And then there are clips on Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, as well as TikTok. And then for the audio, you can listen 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Have a good one, everyone. And we will see you all in the next one.